I think the games industry is headed for some sort of crash. In the 80s, it crashed to the point where it almost vanished. And obviously, I wasn't born in the 80s. I wasn't even a thought. My dad was a little kid. I don't even think he was playing video games yet. But the point is, I think the games industry, with the way it is right now, the direction that it's headed in, there's going to be some sort of crash. It's just inevitable, man. If you look at how long it takes for AAA games to be developed now, how much it costs, how many people lose their jobs despite releasing a successful game, and the fact that the next generation of consoles are projected and expected to be so expensive. They're expected to be $1,000 or more. People are getting priced out of what was once a really accessible hobby, and that's really the main reasons why I think this industry is headed towards some sort of crash. I just made a video on Sony announcing that they're stopping physical media production in 2028. I just made a video about that. That is a huge reason why I think as well. I mean, the next generation of consoles is not going to be received well, because if you think that Xbox isn't going to do the same thing, yeah, they most likely are. I highly doubt that the Project Helix or whatever the next Xbox is called, I highly doubt that it's going to support physical media. I would love it if it did. I think that they have an opportunity to do the most amazing thing right now, and that would be to announce that Project Helix will support physical media. But until that happens, I fully believe that they're not going to do that. Like, I don't expect that at all. And apart from physical media being killed off, it's the fact that everything is getting so expensive in this industry to even like partake in this hobby. And that's the main reason why I think this industry is headed for some sort of crash. And to be honest, let it happen. It should happen. I'm not saying that I want to see tons of people lose their job. I mean, Xbox is already taking care of that with the amount of studios that they shut down left and right and the amount of people that they fire. And PlayStation is guilty of doing the same shit, and Nintendo is guilty of doing the same shit. And 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 yeah, it's an unfortunate reality. It's what happens, but I think that this should happen for the games industry. Something needs to change. Something needs to happen where someone comes in or a new company steps up or something, and someone or something that's willing and that's capable of giving customers what they want. Because at the end of the day, that's where a lot of the problems with the games industry as it stands right now, that's where they stem from. They stem from simply not giving the customer what they want, whether that's physical media, whether that's game preservation, whether that's more accessible games, whether that's, systems that aren't getting price hiked all the time. The Series X and the Series S, I have my Series X right here, they're about to get another price hike in August, this August of 2026. The Series S, after that price hike, is going to cost $500. That's the same amount of money that the Series X cost when it released in 2020. The PS5 and the PS5 Pro, I have my PS5 right here next to me. They've already received their fair share of price hikes. And the next systems, the PS6, the next Xbox, again, they're expected to be $1,000 or more. I don't think that's sustainable. It simply isn't. And when you also factor in the fact that GTA 6 or Rockstar just announced that GTA 6 essentially is a $100 game, you don't think other developers aren't, they didn't see that and they didn't immediately think, oh shit, we can do that too. Every other developer and publisher in the AAA space for gaming was waiting to see what GTA 6 was going to cost. And essentially now it's $100 game. It's a $100 game. If you want the full experience for single player, if you want to have everything that that game is going to offer, you have to fork over $100. Do I personally have a problem with GTA 6 costing $100? No, because that's a Rockstar game, and that's a game that when you break down how many hours of entertainment you get out of a game that's that big, $100 isn't the end of the world. My issue with GTA 6 and the reason why I'm not getting it when it comes out is because I want to know that there's going to be a real physical version of the game. I'm not buying GTA 6 until I know that there's a physical version of the game that I can buy that has a disc or has multiple discs and has a map or something, because I don't want to pay $100 and just, for a fucking code in a box. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. But if you don't think that other developers and publishers were looking at Rockstar and the announcement of the price for GTA 6, they were. And now, unfortunately, $80 games is going to be the norm. And in a couple of years, I wouldn't be surprised if we see $90 games or $100 games become the norm. And at that point, you're looking at games that cost $90 or $100, and you're not even getting anything physical inside the case. You're getting an empty case with a slip inside that's a code to download the game. That, honestly, all those things combined make me feel like this industry deserves some sort of crash. It needs to happen. Now, do I think it's going to be as bad as the 80s where essentially gaming almost disappeared? No, because I'm not that naive. You're still talking about the games industry. This is an industry that makes billions of dollars every year. This is a billion-dollar industry. I don't see it going down completely to the point where, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, they go bankrupt or they go under. I don't see that happening. However, I do see something happening where there's some sort of shakeup and there's some sort of shift, and that could either helps the customer or it just continues to stomp on the customer. I don't think there's any in between. I know there's a lot of rumors right now of Microsoft potentially selling the Xbox brand, selling it off to somebody else. If that were to happen, that would also be crazy because at that point, what happens with Xbox? Like, where do they get their funding from? I mean, like a lot of their like a lot of their dependents, or they've always relied and they've always depended on the funding from Microsoft for all these years that they've been around. And if they get sold off to somebody else, I mean, it's just interesting to think of what could happen there. And then Sony with PlayStation, I mean, PlayStation is also not really in a good spot right now. There's lawsuits going at them. They're being accused of being a monopoly. And when you think about it, they essentially are. And now they're doing this shit with killing off physical media. And it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. And for somebody who, like me, I'm very committed to game preservation and keeping my physical media and having it and everything. I'm well aware that there are a ton of games out there for the PS4, the PS5, the Xbox, my handhelds that I simply have never played because I don't even know that they exist. Like what I'm saying is there are so many games out there that I haven't experienced. I know that I'm potentially set for the next 10 to 20 years. So when I say that my mind's made up on not getting the PS6 and not getting the next Xbox because they're not going to support physical media, I don't really have that much FOMO. Obviously, I haven't seen the games that are going to be released on those future systems. And when I see those games, I might be like, damn, that looks amazing. That looks insane. But if they're not going to support physical media, I have no reason to support them. I have no reason to put my money into that, to put my time into that. And when I think about all the games that are out there that I simply haven't played, it gives me some sort of sense of security because I know that I'm potentially set for the next 2 to 3 console generations. That's simply where I'm at right now. And it's going to be interesting to see. Only time will tell what actually ends up happening with this games industry. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we're headed for some sort of crash. And I really think that it needs it. I don't think indie games are going to go anywhere because as long as they have customers and fans and it's a viable market, indie games are going to thrive. We've seen indie games thrive for the last like 2 generations almost now because of the fact that they're a lot more accessible than these AAA games that are way more expensive. They're getting more expensive and a lot of times they're broken. They're not even finished at launch. So I don't think that's going anywhere, but again, only time will tell what's going to happen. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it all just plays out in all honesty. But I would love to know what you think about the entire games industry, about it potentially crashing. Do you think we're already in the beginning of some sort of crash for the industry? Because I've seen people say that too, and honestly, I wouldn't deny that. I wouldn't say that we're not there because it does feel like we're already in like the worst timeline. But it also just if you look around, you notice, yeah, it does seem like it's already crashing. It's already kind of imploding on itself. Developers now, they're so ambitious, and I think that's great, but a lot of times it seems like there's just no money, which is ironic because they're raising the price on everything. But we'll see what happens. My name's Nico. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you didn't like it. Let me know your thoughts on the games industry, on physical media, on everything that's happening right now. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next one.